For this. Next up, we have Aria Math from the Minecraft Volume Beta, soundtrack by C418. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, become a member, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Support this channel as much as you want. Two disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time hearing this track, so I will be pausing a lot as I will be pointing things out as I hear them. And number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. So I might stumble upon my words. Whatever happens, happens. So, let's see what we got. Aria Math. Let's go. Okay, so we start with a steel drum. It's such a chill instrument, giving us a very, very nice beat with I think this counts as a motif. The motif being the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from, right? So it's a very chill sounding instrument, usually very much associated with stuff like tropics and that kind of stuff. It's a very chill, very Caribbean type of instrument. So it sounds beautiful. It's a very beautiful, very zen-y thing. So once I can pass it, let me analyze that. Yes, exactly. That's what we do here. So let's see where this goes. And it wasn't 1, it was 11. So meditation, yeah, can be, yeah. And this right here is a very, very good example of accents or accentuation. So right now, the percussionist is, exaggerating? Good. So right now, the percussionist is playing, the player here is playing the same rhythm. Is just playing the same rhythm, which is eighth notes. But we are doing accents for the melody. So some of these are louder than others, and you can tell that those are louder than others. Those are called accents, and those are giving us the melody. Because now it's giving the rest of it this very, very cool foundation from which the accents can create another melody. So in this way, like we have all the notes going here horizontally, but then some of these notes, instead of being down here, they're accentuated up here, and it creates this really, really cool melodic line that goes on top of the foundation that we're getting as playing in between beats a little bit, as playing some of the beats louder than others, creating accents. It's a really, really cool way of doing rhythm. Let's see where it goes. A second one. Second drum. Steel drum. Oh, very beautiful. So yeah, now we're engaging what is called a crescendo. So crescendo is just to go louder. And as opposed to just turning up the volume, crescendo is something that you do with dynamics. The more technical term nowadays is velocity. So dynamics is how quiet or how loud the instrument itself is played, as opposed to volume, which is how loud or how quiet the speaker plays back the recording. One of the main reasons why it's difficult to have machines make music like this is because of dynamics. Because in the synthetic world that we have something called MIDI, which is the digital language of instruments. And MIDI has velocity for dynamics, which is valued from 0 to 127, which means every instrument that has a sample can have every note has 128 different volumes of velocity, depending on how hard you hit it. Humans, we have a way wider range, and we can do this a lot more precisely. But for a computer, you have to actually program this in advance, which makes it difficult. However, in this case, we are having a player, and the accents are a way of using dynamics. And dynamics in music, these are measured from piano to forte. Piano means soft, forte means loud. The instrument that we know, the keyboard instrument, that the full name of it is the pianoforte, because it was the first keyboard instrument that could play quietly and loudly. And yes, you can have like several of these. So, you can go from piano to pianissimo to pianissimo to pianissimo, or forte to fortissimo to fortissimo to fortissimo. And you can just continue adding them, and that just means quiet, quieter, 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 louder, 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 louder. Then you have things like the in-between, right? Like the mezzo forte, mezzo piano. You have special ones like sforzato, wrong one, sforzato, sforzando. Yeah, sforzando, these different ones which are more relative than the others. And these are surprisingly complex concepts for something like a computer to understand. So isn't what when I say the highest number you can display with 3 bits? Yes. Yes, it's based on that. It's based on that because the range that we could figure out with MIDI, the language could only go from 0 up to 127. So the range of how quiet and how loud an instrument can get goes from there in a digitized manner, which is still workable. Like it's still pretty accurate to what we have nowadays. The problem is that if you ask a computer to emulate that, it becomes extremely difficult for the computer to be able to do it on its own. That's why things like AI music can be very off-putting, because a lot of the times they are going to get the velocity wrong for the instruments. And that is going to create an uncanny valley effect. Because you expect a certain velocity, a certain dynamic from the instrument at certain points. Because music feels natural. Music needs to feel natural to a certain extent. And if you do something like the wrong dynamic, it shows. And if it's not on purpose, it shows. So yeah, no, we have this, and the crescendo just means it gets louder. So we're going from piano to forte. We introduced a second steel drum, giving us a little bit of counterpoint being, melodies, how they develop, how they interact with each other, that kind of thing. And we take it from there. Let's see where it goes. Very lovely. Oh, I think that's the third one. Oh, very beautiful. Okay, that is I think that's a synth now. I think we've actually gotten a synth with somewhat similar samples. It's a very, very close sound, but it's not exactly the one of the steel drum, giving us another layer of this whole thing. This whole thing is still doing the same beat in essence, but the accents are just changing here and there, which is giving it this really cool, like, trickling drip feed kind of vibe. Because something that you can do with these types of drums is that you leave them out in the rain, and as the water drops hit it, you can get different melodies from it. So this is creating that kind of vibe, and it's really, really cool. Let's see where this goes. And yeah, MIDI is very old. Very cool. By the way, the main steel drum is doing what is called an ostinato. Ostinato is basically you just repeat the same musical idea over and over and over and over and over again. It's been 1 minute 20 seconds, and the first steel drum is still doing the exact same thing. By the way, I'm calling it a steel drum because I know that that's not the name of the instrument. It has a different name, but I'm just calling it for the sake of simplicity. Let's see where this goes. That was smooth. That was smooth. That blended really, really well. So now we add another synth, another keyboard, which is steel pan. Yeah, steel pan. That's the name of the instrument. Yeah, a steel pan. I was calling it a steel drum. So we're having this really cool thing. It's snuck up on us, and what it is doing is the original accents that we were having. Don't forget, like we had the whole, accent thing where, okay, we're not going to play this here. We're going to play this a lot louder up here. Now we're going to, not play this one down here. We're going to play this a lot louder over here. That kind of thing. Now we brought a synth to actually play those notes in their entirety, fully linking everything together. And the frequency of it was very widely known as a hand pan. Yeah, like there's so many names for it that I'm just using steel drum for like a simplicity. Arclight, welcome today, by the way. How you doing? Yeah, no, like this is the fact that C418 figured out, because this is not an accident, being able to sneak in a tone like that is so close in frequency to this drum. You gotta spend some time figuring that out. You gotta spend some time to figure it out, because that was very, very smooth how it snuck in like that. Let's see where this goes. Cast iron drum, I know, right? Made such incredible quote. Yes, this is really good. And yeah, we're just bringing in the same elements as before. We're having another synth just holding the chords together, and I think we're talking like Lena as in general for the overall work, not for this particular piece, but like in general. I think we're talking about like generalities here. So many elements are going here, just repeating, and oh my god. Kiwi Dragon, one of them went up recently, yes. This is beautiful. And yeah, we're just repeating everything. We are engaging in ostinato. We're slowly adding more layers to this whole thing, letting the whole thing play out. Then we add another layer. Sometimes in between repetitions, like in the halfway point, we add another layer. And we're just building this really, really cool grains of sand making a heap kind of feeling that the ambience is just filling up more and more and more and more. And it's being done in such a subtle way that each of the new elements just sneaks up on you. And we're just repeating the same motifs over and over and over again. But because we're adding these elements in such a smooth way, it just cancels out. Because I guess composer for some of the single tracks, or the pre-market organization was C418. That makes sense. Imagine if C4 made music for a story. That would be awesome. I would love to see that collaboration. So yes, we're having, because once again, when you're making music, you want to balance. You want a very careful balance between what is new and what is familiar. What is familiar means repetition. If you repeat too much, you risk boring the listener. They tune out. If you introduce too much new material too quickly, the listener gets overwhelmed. You tune out. And this is very, very much leaning towards that familiarity, because we're engaging in an ostinato here. Like, ostinato is as straightforward repetition as it gets. The main drum is still playing the exact same loop, and everything around it is molding everything around it, and it's just giving such a different atmosphere every time with such small details. Again, if you want to see the most notorious example that I can think of where something like this happens, The intro to The Mirror by Dream Theater. The first minute, the guitar is doing an ostinato, and it's just doing the exact same thing for a whole minute, and the rest of the band changes, and it just changes everything so drastically, and in essence, the same is happening here, just as a way, way smoother way. Like, this is just way smoother. Yes, I'm gonna mention them whenever I can, same as Rheingold. Let's see where this goes. Small detail, big difference, yeah, really good. Because now we've added, because we're having the main melody now, we're adding a couple of extra bits here and there, like we're adding extra complications to the melody, and now we introduced a second layer doing counterpoint to that, doing a call and response. So counterpoint again is melodies, how they interact with each other, how they develop, and call and response is a musical conversation. You can hear the first melody doing movement immediately followed by the second melody doing other movement, and it's just going back and forth between the two, call response, while everything else is staying as it is in what I think this qualifies as a flying melody. So flying melody, colloquial term that I use. Colloquial just means that there either isn't an academic term for it, or I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. And in this case, we are having the ostinato, we're having all the atmosphere, giving us a very beautiful landscape, and high up above, we are doing a simpler melody. Simpler, slower, just flying above everything else, and just going for it. This is just very, very beautiful, man. This is just very beautiful. Let's see where it goes. For a second, I think there was a shaker there too. We remove the first drum, and now we're letting the second drum do the thing. This one has been here the entire time as well, I think. And oh my god. Again, this is so smooth because this drum had been there. It was, I think it was the second layer that we got. And now now we went off the ramp. So, going off the ramp, another colloquial term that I use, is a way of transitioning between sections in a way so that you make your listener feel suspended up in the air, at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where we land. How do you do that? You remove the drums, you remove the bass, maybe. In this case, there was no drum beat. We had the steel drum, or the steel pan, whatever you want to call it. And what did we do? We removed that, because that was the lowest instrument. And now we feel off, suspended. Let's see where it goes. There it is, it's back. And it's back. That was what? Maybe 7 seconds when we didn't have it? Maybe? And now it's back. And now it's back. So smoothly, I didn't even notice it at first. It is pure comfort. Yeah, this is this is a very comfortable song, track, piece. So yeah, let's see. Now we have another synth giving us a crescendo again. Different melodies. There we go. Ooh, okay, so now we are having two sets of plucked strings. I don't know what instruments these are, but now we are having them doing the accents that the other instruments were doing before, but now they're going a little bit further in. The ostinato pretty much remains unchanged still. This is... Whew. And now, instrumentation, the concept of picking the right instrument for the right reason. Yeah. This is very well, there's a very good choice to change from the synths and percussion to the sound of the plucked strings. And yeah. D-Hots, welcome today. How you doing? There you go. And we're having these just really cool melodies above. And the whole thing is still based on those lower beats, those ostinatos. And these are just different explorations of the same accents. These are just, let's see what we get if we explore this part of the phrase instead, this part of the phrase instead. We're just going around exploring the same 4/4 measure, the same 1/2, like the same 1 or 2 measures over and over and over. What Purgatory didn't do in the case of this one. And again, I'm breaking my own rules here because I usually don't refer to other tracks. But Purgatory, the difference here is that every repetition has been something different. Every time there has been something new, something interesting, something that piques the ear. There has yet to be 2 repetitions in a row of the material without something changing. So we are having the fundamentals staying the same. We're having the ostinato staying the same. We are 3.5 minutes into a 5-minute piece, and the first steel drum that we heard has just stayed the exact same, which puts you in a very dangerous spot. It's a very risky spot, because if you don't provide enough variation, then it gets insanely boring. But yeah. Sounds like it just focused on the main melody. Before it sounded like this. Now it sounds very focused. And it's the clarity of the strings. Yeah, again, we're just re-exploring different aspects of this. Now we're going for timbre. So, yeah, let's see where it goes. Very good. And we have a bass as well now, I think. We have a synth doing a bass. And the cool thing about this whole thing is because of the ostinato, the nature of the ostinato, having the lower notes around here, some of these newer melodies, what we are getting is that they are actually, instead of just going for the accents that we had before, they are now taking those leaps up and down and up, and accentuating the other beats that are being played, but were just not highlighted before. There is so much material in the quieter parts of the drum that is being accentuated. Like, this whole piece is an incredible study on accentuation and accents, because every single note that has come out of that steel drum, whatever, has been explored so far. In one way or another, everything just goes back to that ostinato. Everything. Every single thing goes back to that ostinato. In theory, this should be unbelievably boring. In theory. Because we are repeating the same ostinato, and I don't see a reason why we're gonna stop. Like, we had a moment of like maybe 1 repetition without it, and then we went straight back into it. In theory, this should be boring. But what did C418 do? Interesting. Made it interesting. Made enough changes to it. Explored the material so well that it's not boring. It's beautiful. Let's see where it goes. Oh, beautiful. We're having another synth at the top, giving us another flying melody. Oh, And now we bring in the strings, the string orchestra, giving us yet another, and we are still doing the same thing over and over. And the thing is, it's not that it's a melody. There have been so many melodies that have come out of everything. Just everything that has come out of this has been based on that one ostinato. The violin melodies, the plucked strings, every single thing is going through this. It makes you feel like you're ascending to heaven, yeah. Kind of, yeah. Very beautiful. How are you gonna end this? Okay, off the ramp, we bring back those plucked strings. Oh, beautiful. And how are we gonna... We repeat? Yep. No. Okay, I thought it was fading out. You scared me, you bastard! Oh my god, you scared me! It was not a fade out. It was not a fade out. It was not a fade out. It got quieter, and then we finished the ostinato with one last note. It was not a fade out. You scared me. Oh my god. For a second, I thought it was gonna fade out. It was fading out, and oh my god, that actually scared me. So there you go. That was the whole thing was based on a loop. Let me see. Let me play from the beginning. Let me just play. Let me see. It's a 2-second loop. 2.5 second loop. 2.5 seconds of a rhythmic motif in this beautiful instrument, and we got 5 minutes and 9 seconds of art out of this. This is a Beethoven-esque approach. This right here is a Beethoven-esque approach. Because we used so much of this material so beautifully by just exploring what we have. That was insane, Don. That was insane. And, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mosh Pit. Welcome today. And there you go. That was Aria Math from the Minecraft Volume Beta by C418. What a piece, man. What a piece. What a piece. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this in the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, support this channel as much as you want, but not at your expense. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I will be linking it in the description. If you want to request a song and you're not on the stream, go to the Discord server. We have the LFA requests channel there for the instructions and the pinned messages there. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. The full schedule on your local time zone is on the Discord and on the Twitch channels, linked down below. And follow the gaming channel. We have a gaming channel where we put the VODs of whenever we have gaming after shows. Games are Basterd, linked down below, or just search for it. Same username as James R. Basterd, just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. Aria Math from Minecraft. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. But yeah, let's move on.